1, 2, 3, action. You must have heard that before from, behind the scene of movies and all of that. Luckily for you, maybe you're even part of a movie at one time or the other. You heard that severally. Action. Action. Act on it. If you look at the word action critically, you see act on it, harvested from the word. A lot of times we discover that people don't do what they know, not because they don't know enough, not because they have not gone for trainings or seminars or even attended great universities and all of that. But most of the time, the issue is they don't know how to do it. Knowledge is good, but until it is used before you can be, graded for it, we need to see the result from the knowledge you have gained, and that is why you need to act. Remember, we started from mind your business, telling you that your business starts from your mind. Your mind is your first business, and we move to business model canvas, telling you that with all of the mind work and all of that, you need to also get the basics. Go to the first principle. What is business about? Business is not just about you feel like everybody is selling one thing or the other. Me too, I need to sell something. I need to do this. No, not just that. You need to identify a product, a value rather, that you need to present either as a product or as a service. And now this is action. It's not just sufficient for you to know the M, the B, and without the A. You need to act upon what you know. Very, very important. I'll be talking about a few things, under this action. And one major thing is the 3P management. In my little while in training about management, about getting things done, growth activation especially, I come to realize that people don't do well most of the time because they can't manage 3 things. And they are just in P's. The first P is passion. When people cannot manage their passion, it leads to something. I'll tell you what it is. When people cannot manage project, it leads to something. I'll tell you what it is. When people cannot manage people, it leads to something. When you cannot manage this 3P, it leads you to the 4th P, and that is problem. So a lot of time, why your knowledge does not translate to result is because there is a fault in the management of your passion. You don't just jump into the river because you are passionate about swimming when you have not learned how to swim. If care is not taken, you may not be recovered alive from the river. Although you are passionate, that's very necessary. For you to do business, you need to be passionate about what you want to do. You want to give this value, you need to be passionate about it. But you must know how to manage your passion. You don't just have to do it blindly because you are passionate. You need to get the necessary skills, with that and all of that. Now, look at project. Our life is actually a consummate of project. It's a project all together. You want to sleep, you want to eat, you want to go out, you want to do this and all of that. It's all project because it takes a step after the other before you can execute them. So you need to get the project management skills. It's very important because everything you're going to be doing, it's a project. So until you know how to manage project properly, not just in the big name that project, awarded a contract, that is when you take. No. It's as simple as you brushing your teeth in the morning. That's a project. Now, people, that's the most critical part of it because there's nothing you're going to do that you will not need to interact with people. Remember in the business model canvas, I talked about how it is divided into 2 halves. One is the emotional part, one is the logical part. Now, the emotional part is, where you are always put in front of people. You need to relate to people. You need to talk to people. You need to ask people questions. You need to tell people, give people compliments and all of that. So, some of the time, it's not, the intelligence is not in the choice of word. It's in the mood of the word. And that's where people management comes in. You can say yes and yes and yes and yes. And for the different yeses, they mean different things. That's very important. So, and that's where a lot of people fail it. Remember, on the first half of the business model canvas, we said one of those major things is key partners. there are some people you need to hook up to take you to some places. You have to leverage on their influence, on their network and all of that. But when you have defaulted in the management of people relationship, you will not get the right partners. You will not get key partners. You will not get people that you can fly, on their wings. And that's always a very big sinker for business. It's always a pinhole that can sink any Titanic. So 3P management, it's a book. It's coming out. Don't worry. I know you not hesitate to get your copy when it is out. So 3P management is something so broad. Management of your passion, of project, and of people to avoid problem. Very important. So another thing we're going to talk about now is adapt, don't adopt. Now you are going to be faced with so many situations in life, get into this, get into that, no doubt about that. But the thing is this: don't forget what it should be for what it is. What it is should not be adopted, but you have to adapt yourself to make do with what you have at hand now for you to get what you are supposed to get. So don't forget your goal because the road is bad. You understand? So we may need to, go through the bad roads to make contracts for the new road, for a railroad and all of that. You don't just neglect the bad road because your interest is in railways, your interest is in airways, so you now say, okay, you know what, I'm not going to take your road. You have to take the road. You have to apply the road for you to be able to make the contracts to work for your airways or your railways. So know how to adapt the situation. Don't adopt it. Don't take it. Work with it and get what you need. What is this? It's brilliant to let you know that if you can just start, you can be a star. See, all you just need to do is to act. Take the first step. You must have heard that before, that 1,000 kilometers starts with a step. A step is a minus from the 1,000 kilometers. It's already reduced. It's now, 900 and something kilometers. So if you start, that is the first thing you need to be a star. Action. Act on it. Tell yourself as many times as possible. 1, 2, 3. Action. You have to do it. Bill Gates said when he is faced with something, he makes sure he does something about it the day he comes across it. In the next 24 hours, he just have to do something about it. And that has been a principle that really worked for me. A lot of times, I feel tired to do something and all that, but I start it. And the next time I'm going back to it, I'm always amazed at, wow, thank God I started this, the other day, because I would not have been able to recapture as much as I'm getting to continue with the day I go back to it. So as much as possible, whatever it is that has come to your mind as a business idea, whatever it is that comes to your mind as any kind of idea, act on it. Don't just go about trying to learn 1 or 2 things and all of that without doing something. The best way to remember whatever you have learned is to put it to use. You need to engage your mind, you need to engage your psychomotrics, you need to engage your cognitives, everything. Put everything to use for you to get the best out of whatever you've done. I really want to appreciate you, for taking your time out to listen to this. And I know you're already thinking about something now. Remember I said, think differently. That was in the business model canvas. Think differently about everything you have always known. Start thinking differently about them. You are about to enter into a blue ocean of new realities and getting things done in a different way. We are waiting for you in the marketplace. Get set and get in. I am Ark of God. I will always be available for you to get the best out of everything, life and business especially. Thank you so much. See you later. Have a nice time.